Hello, everybody. This is a mad scientist just having a little play with some bits and bobs because I felt like it. I'm afraid Violet's not feeling up to streaming at the moment. I just thought I'd do a little bit, so it should probably be just a short. So I'm just having a little play. I was thinking about making rust, right? So that's what I'm doing. But it's faux rust. It's not making rust with real metal. So what I'm going to do, I've done a little test, and this is what I used for this one. These three. I used golden liquid, acrylic glazing liquid, gloss. I wish I had stopped and found my matte medium. I really ought to have done the matte medium one. That would have been nice, but I've got some iridescent medium over there, I think, which is, yeah, that's not the same. Modelling paste I've got up there. What is that one? Let's have a quick look at two more. So I've got some different, there's some matte medium in there. I don't know how much is left in that one, but it's thicker, so I will probably need something else, like some high flow medium here, which might help a bit. So we'll have a look at those. Now I've got another little pot. I've got a whole load of pots here. Pots, pots, pots. We're all pots around here. So I'm going to have a little look at this one. See, I'm thinking, excuse me, that I really need to do some more realistic rust than I've done before. And gloss is not going to do it. So let's get another little pot. Put that away for now. A little pot. There we are, a pot with a lid. Just let that one, sorry about that. The minute I start talking, I start coughing. I've got various colours here. I've got some burnt umber there. But for this one, quite an orangey rust, I used smoked paprika, which is a chalk acrylic. So it's very matte. And I used transparent red iron oxide. And we'll use now matte medium and high flow medium in place of acrylic liquid glazing gloss. If you've got some other glazing liquid that isn't gloss, if you want to make rust, that is, but you can make sort of rusted metal which sometimes still has some gloss on it. So let's have a go with this. Let's move these off so we can get at the, this is my glass sheet. Hello there, Liz. I can see you because I'm awake because, well, I am. So I'm going to have a go with this. See if I can open this one. It's been a while since this was opened, so it may not open. Well, let's see if I can squeeze something out of the hole then. Might not be able to. This is quite solidy stuff. Oh, maybe it isn't. There we go. Lovely. Let's see if I can pour some out. Oh, yes, that's nice. We want a good bit because I want to put quite a bit in the pot. The last time I only did a little bit to just test it. So I'm going to add the transparent red iron oxide again. Of course, I'm getting near the end of this bottle, but don't worry, I've got another one. I think we'll have a bit more than that, so we'll open the new one, which involves taking this bit off. Well, hello, Susan. Hiya, peoples. I'm afraid Violet's not feeling terribly great at the moment. Because if she pops in and wants to come along, I'm quite happy, but she wasn't feeling great earlier. But I really wanted to do this, and I thought I'd show you what I'm doing. This could be quite a short one. I know it's awfully late. So let's add a little bit of this burnt umber to try and turn it down a bit, but only a bit. I don't want it to go nutty. That's plenty. In fact, that's probably too much, but I've got to wipe it off. There we go. If I had some, if there was such a thing as some rust-coloured mica flakes, I would add some of that to it. But I've got another idea for that later, so I'll add that in a different way, but it won't be quite those, well, it might be mica flakes. I don't know how this company makes their stuff. It's emerald. Gosh, I can't read it. Emerald Creek. Emerald Creek. They make embossing powders. I was thinking to add a little bit of one of their embossing powders to this because I want this to bubble up when it's on the paper, and I now want some of this because I want it a little bit less dark than that. And this is matte because it's a chalk finish. Oh, that's nice. That's a lovely colour. There we go. I feel like I'm betraying Violet. Didn't mean to. I just didn't want to bother her because she wasn't feeling great. She's been working hard at a video we did, editing it and getting it ready to upload. It's going to be to do with this. This is another stage of the same video. So it's all to do with it. Or set of videos, I think it's more likely. Now, that's a different colour to that one, but I think I'll add a little bit of sepia to it because that's quite dark. But it's, isn't it transparent? Yes, it's completely transparent, that one, as you can see. Healing, yeah. Of course, if she turns up and says, here, let me in. But I don't know that she will. I didn't tell her I was going to go and do this. I didn't really think I was going to attract a lot of attention. I thought I could sneak one in, you know. Oh, hello, Debbie. Hi, Susan. Oh, I'm being so bad. There we go. What a pity Sharon isn't here. I could see what I'm doing. Yeah, I think that's quite a nice colour. I'm trying to get it different enough to this one. I might add a little bit of Payne's Grey. Yeah. Bronze. Silver. I certainly don't want silver. Yeah, silver again. How much silver have I got? Oh, now this is a good idea. Look what I just picked up, micaceous iron oxide. That's got gritty bits in it. I think I'll add some of that. Oh, what a good idea. Here we go. It's a bit grey, you know, a bit light grey. But I did bring out Little Black Dress. So we'll see how this mixes in first before we add that. We don't want to get too... Oh, it's got a lovely gritty feeling now. I think I'll add some more micaceous before I add any other stuff because I want to get a bit more grit into it. There we go. I wonder if it's going to fit in this one. Got a hair in my eye. I can feel it tickling on my cheek. Don't you hate it when your body does things to you like that? I'm just trying to scoop it all up into one area because it's trying to flood. I tell you, I decided really fast to do this because I was just mixing. I thought, oh, I really ought to record what I'm doing because I won't remember. You know how that goes. What's a memory? Well, it's the thing you keep talking about to keep the memory alive. It's the only way. Well, the only way it works for me. My husband says he can remember things when he was 5 years old. Flippin' heck. I can't do that. Oh, that's nice. Look at the difference now. Isn't that lovely? That's quite different. I'm going to save that as it is. I won't add any more sepia or little black dress. No, I won't. I won't. I've got a fatter one. Maybe I can get a bit more in at a time with the fatter one. Of course, it may just all slop everywhere. Yeah, like that one tried to. There we go. So I'll do a little bit of a test with this in a mo. But I want to do yellow rust first. Now, I bought some yellow rust, so I don't really need to do that. But it's so much fun. It's like cooking without having to eat it, isn't it? Oh, hello, Miriam. You spotted me. I snuck on. I didn't mean to. Well, I sort of did. I think we're going to do another episode, or another bit of the project on Friday when I hope Violet will be better. Oh, I can feel this lovely gritty sound. I can feel it on the palette knife. Let's bring you back. Right back. So that should have a little bit of a sparkle if micaceous iron oxide means it's got mica in it. And it certainly sparkles when you see it on your project. A little bit, not a lot, but that's all I really want. Right, let's put the lid on that one. Let's try and remember what we did. We've got to make a label for it. Is that clean? That's that clean. You know, I got a baby wipe out, cleaned the glass slab before going live, and then I turned to throw it into the bin and it fell short straight into the dog's bowl. Poor boy. Right. And we'll do another yellowy one this time. I did bring out some more yellow paper artsy fresco finish chalk paints. Of course, if you've got chalk paints of a different variety and they're in a big, much bigger, let's see if we can get that in without. Ah, that's it. Didn't hit the dog's bowl this time. If you've got a bigger assortment or even bigger bottles of chalk paints, they don't have to be paper arts. It just happens that's the only chalk paint I've got. So we'll get another pot, another little pot. And just before I do anything else, I just make sure it's just quite clean by using the dry kitchen roll to mop up the last of the colour and the dampness. You don't want to add the smell of Johnson's baby wipes, do we? Well, I don't. I'm not a great one for perfumes. I once got a perfume, oh, years ago this was, and it was, I think it was called Poison. Oh, boy, was that strong, that stuff. You just can't do anything by halves, can I? I've just got to go, full out. Let me just move that a bit out of the way there so I can get the glass nearer to me. Can you still see? Well, you can't quite. Let me tilt that. I haven't got my Violet here to tell me what I'm doing wrong. This is the new Kindle, and I can't go on via Chrome. I've had to go on via a Souk browser instead of Chrome. Well, the other one, I couldn't even get the camera to work. Could get the audio, but not the camera. So let's have some more of the matte medium. There we go. On a goodish bit. How much did we get on that one? Oh, that's not bad. It's nearly full. So let's add a bit more to get the same sort of amount. There we are. And didn't add any high flow medium. Didn't seem to need it. So I want a yellowy color now. So we'll have yellow submarine. I've not really used these paints for anything else. Not for a long time. But I don't want it yellow. I want it very slightly off yellow. So we've got pumpkin soup, which is a bit more like a sort of ochre-y colour. And I've got here seaweed, which is even more ochre-y. Well, I got a cross between yellow ochre and brown. Get those bits out the way. Oh boy, what was all that about? That didn't work very well, did it? Guess what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to scoop all this up and try and get it in there. Oh, I know what I can do it with. This happens to you. Have one of these things standing by. It's one of those plastic pipettes. Gosh, what a drip I am. I didn't shake it, did I? Don't do what I do. Do what I say. Shake it. Hi, Evie. See if I can scoop a bit more up. Gosh. What a drip I am. What a drip there is. Salvage things. It wasn't broken before I got to it, but I'm fixing it. You broke the yolk, yeah. Well, it's certainly going to be nice and liquidy, isn't it? Because all the liquid is on the plate and not in the flipping container. Let's see if I can mix that up a bit. It's going to be quite missing a lot of stuff. It's all over me. Well, only on my hands, thank goodness, so far. Yeah, because these things solidify in much the same way as... You realise what glass it was? It's my glass mixing palette thingy. Yeah, it's just glass. It's not acrylic. There we go. It does come out. That's more it. Right, I might add a tiny bit of orange, but it will only be a tiny bit. We want to mix it all into that before we start doing anything else. And try to get that poor little solidified seaweed, it was called, mixed in. Well, I might have saved it. I might not. I might have to use it and then try and find some more seaweed. I bet it'll be a colour that's discontinued. Bound to be. That's quite yellowy, but I don't want it quite that yellowy. I don't want it orange, but I don't want it a bit orange, you know? Maybe I'll add a bit of the Quinacridone Nicolazo yellow. gold, which I should have an open one of. This is not it. This is an unopened one. Nah. Where are you? A transparent yellow iron oxide. Not really. Wait a minute. What's this over here? Nickel-Azo yellow? No. Iridescent gold? Nope. I should have a little one at the very least. Quinacridone Nickel-Azo gold. There we are. I broke the yolk. Absolutely did. Does not look tasty. Breakfast, anybody? Now that's a sort of browny colour, so I'm hoping it's going to orangeate without going completely orange. It's quite nice. It's got a richer sort of, more like a golden yolk now colour, hasn't it? Thank goodness I can rewind and find out what I was doing. Oh dear. Now I'm using this on the big project that I'm doing to challenge Sharon. But she said, shall we do some challenges together? So it was her idea first. And this is the one I picked that I thought I could get most fun out of, which for me is what art is all about. If you ain't having fun, you're not doing it right. Stop it and do something else. Try a different, I don't mean stop art. I mean, try a different type of art. I like that. That's a lovely colour. I don't think it needs anything else. I think that's good enough as it is. So I think I would just mix in the outer edges. Yes, I think that's just perfect. It's a sort of mustardy colour, isn't it? Like Coleman's mustard. There we are. None of your French stuff, just the Coleman's mustard from Norfolk. I've got a tin, old mustard tin somewhere. Coleman's, of course. And some slightly newer ones in the cupboard, and just don't put it in the wrong container and then wonder what your food is tasting like. But I think this looks very tasty to me. I also want a more orangey colour, because so far I've got this slightly sort of reddish brown, which I could do with more of actually. This darker brown, and now this mustardy colour. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Anne. What am I up to today? Making a mess, of course. I'm afraid Violet isn't here. She wasn't feeling great. Wasn't up to streaming, she said. So I wasn't going to stream, but I just suddenly thought I'd do this little bit here. There we go. So that's that one. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Here's another way of cleaning. Instead of using the stinky little baby wipes, just spray it with water before it dries on me. And wipe it off with a couple of kitchen towels. Get a fresh kitchen towel. They're right by me, luckily. That's a change. I've usually got to go hunting for things. Now, I could use something like one of those oranges. Oh, I just dropped a paint tube on the floor. I'll get that later. Hope I won't need it. I was thinking more like there's gold yellow. There's Azo Yellow Deep. Let me just finish cleaning this a bit. Full. There we are. And there's Cadmium Yellow Deep. And there's that one and that one. What's that one? Gold Ochre. I could have had that one, but no, that's all right. There's a burnt, was it raw sienna? Raw sienna. So let's get one more pot out of the little baggie. I'm going to have to order some more pots soon. I've got what, 1, 2, 4 left in there. Oh dear, making a lot of stuff. Lid. One lid. Wipe this off as well. Now, what did I say I wanted to do? I said I wanted to do a more orangey one. Okay, orangey. So we've got 3 tones there. I've got something a little bit more orangey, more like the smoked paprika, but not quite. So, matte medium. Bit of Cadmium Yellow Deep. Just quite an orangey yellow of itself. It's almost this colour to start with, isn't it? We may as well just have punked some of that in. No, maybe not. Not that one. I've got here Autumn Fire, Tango, and Smoked Paprika. I think might try the Tango. It's quite light, so this time shake it. Oh yes, I do have a project in mind, Wendy. It's a project that Violet has been editing the first main video of that we did offline. Well, unlisted, you know, and then cut a load of my coughing so it wouldn't bother people so much. Got a hair in it there, don't want that. Sorry. It's still there, I can see it in it. There we are. Hang on. I have got a drink. Frying tonight. So that's looking orangey enough already, or quite orangey anyway. And that was, let me say it again so that I will know on the replay, Tango and Cadmium Yellow Deep. Plus, to start with, matte medium. I'm going to have to get some more of that. I seem to use it a lot for a lot of things. Probably this is completely the wrong way to mix a paint, but it's only for a project. I'm sure it will work out. one way or another. These are all things that I would put on a project anyway, paint and matte medium, and so it's not going to spoil it exactly. It's just probably not the best way to actually mix colours. Although on a glass palette like this, slab is a good way. And I have other things to use with the project, which are in a little pile over there, and I'm not telling you about them yet, because that will come later. You get to use a heat tool with it there, so you might guess what it might involve. But I absolutely love those. I've had them, little pots of them, in one of my boxes, and I keep sort of opening it and gloating at it and looking at the labels. I think the labels are half the fun. Well, Violet has been editing the first one, and she's probably quite tired of me by now doing things like that for me. But she says she likes editing. I never did. I don't know, to make them go further, Debbie? Mix them in the matte medium to make them go further and make them flow nicely. Because they do flow quite well. You could always add flow medium or flow improver, but that will make it go different. It will make it last longer. You can add something like GAC 100 acrylic primer and extender, which is meant for adding to pigments to create paints. So that would work. I'm thinking this is quite nice. I think is this too yellow? Do I want it a bit more orangey? I think I want it a bit more orangey. So I'll add a bit more tango to it. And I might add a bit of that's very close to it. I might add a bit of the Autumn Fire, or even the transparent red iron oxide or transparent yellow. No, I've got yellow in there already, haven't we? No, it's not darker. Let's go back to let me try a bit of the red iron oxide. But I want to use, yes, this one. That looks quite dark, but don't forget it's a transparent colour, so it should not be too bad. Oh, that's nice. Look at those red lines in there. That's going to redden it up a bit. What a good job I'm recording this. I'd never remember what I was doing. I think that's nice now, or it will be when I've mixed it in. Yes, quite streaky yet. I just want lots of it. And I got an almost full pot of matte medium there. So it seemed like a good idea to use it. Yeah, I like rusty colours too, but I like it to actually rust. I've got something else that might help. If you've got any mica, you might put a little bit of mica in with it. It might make it sparkly, but it should, if the mica's not too fine and it's flaky mica, you might get some nice effects. I've got to blow my nose. I'm getting off. I won't be a minute. I'll just mute this for a second. There we are. We don't want to burst your eardrums, do we? Now, I think this is about well mixed. I seem to want to mix it a little bit more than I have when it looks homogeneous all together. one colour, just to make absolutely sure that I haven't left a bit behind at the bottom. You know, move it all about a bit more. Yes, I think that's a good colour. Little bit more of the, where's it gone? Transparent red iron oxide, just to redden it a bit more. I should have brought the red down. I didn't think to bring the red down. What a fool. I don't really want to use any of the other reds of mine. They're a bit fierce, but the red iron oxide has got that nice, look at that. Oh, that lovely transparent reddishness, which may or may not survive having being mixed with matte medium. We'll see what happens when we go to use it. I'm only going to use little bits of this, but I say that and then my enthusiasm overtakes and I end up using more than I thought I was going to. But we can do some tests before we do it on the main project, and I can do a little test with some of these colours just to see what will happen, just to see what it looks like. Yes, that is much better oranginess. Oh, that's lovely. Lovely. Just what I wanted. There we go. It's sort of to your eye, you know, what you think of as rust. But I do want to do some more of this one. But I won't bore you by doing that while we're online. Now it's tomato soup. It's very carrot and tomato. Look in here. It looks a bit more tomatoey on the screen, but here it's got a distinct hint of carrot. Right, let's see if we can get this in before it all starts to go funny on me. There we go. Could have added some fluorescent orange from before. That was quite a powerful colour, that one. But it's interesting to see what happens when you mix things together and you have a bit of fun. There we go. Last little drippy droppies. I don't want to waste any of this delicious elixir. Yeah, sure. There we go. Right, top lid. Lovely. What a lovely colour. Got a little dribble on the outside there. Right. Rinse that. I mean, wipe it. And we'll get a bit of paper or something to have a play with. So we used cadmium yellow deep in that because it looked quite orangey to start with. And then we used some autumn fire, a little bit, and quite a bit of tango and red iron oxide, as well as adding the matte medium. Bit that started drying there. you know, because this is glass, it's quite easy to clean, even if you forget a bit and it sort of solidifies on you. It just scratches off without scratching the glass, because glass is tougher than that. So we'll get that out the way. Down there. And Dalaran Indian yellow and red earth. I haven't got those two. Well, these are my sort of go-to colours for a good rust. But I might add a little tinge of something like Yellow Submarine as well, raw, you know. So let's get something to work on. Let's have, just for the fun of it, a piece of black paper. We'll cut it up into 2 or 4. These are only bits to... Yes, quinacridone magenta and Naples yellow. These are only bits to sort of do tests in. Peachy. I don't like to use too much quinacridone magenta, but I haven't tried it with Naples yellow yet. Let's move some of these colours out of the way for now. Let's see what we're doing. We'll take one piece. What is that? That is a bit of card or something with some brown colour on it. That is a good colour for rust, that brown. So let's have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now I can do it with a palette knife. I can do it with a brush. I'm probably going to start with a palette knife. So most rust, seems to me, comes in this basic colour. I want to get some surface in it, so I would do that. Try to disguise the shape of the tool a bit. Of course, you can use a sponge as well. And the other thing you can use to get more surface area, as it was, is add a little bit of something like kitty litter to it. I'll only add a little bit because I want to test it out with this. And then we'll have a bit of the yellow. Let me get a white first to wipe that colour off the palette knife. And I think I got it on the outside with my smeggy finger. Right. I want to embed the kitty litter in it. There we go. See, the black is standing in for the metal colour at the moment. And a bit of the red. Red rust. Obviously it's got to dry, and I will probably come back while it's drying and sort of dig into it a bit with my palette knife to create even more texture. Hello, doggy. Come for a drink. And I will flatten it down in places. as it dries as well. Here we go. And the brown. Little bit of the brown. The brown is a more intense bit, I think. So it's sort of on the edges. Now I'm going to have to come back on this every so often because it's so liquid at the moment. It's looking too smooth. So if I come back to it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, before it's, I mean, this bit will be dry by then, but if I come back to it now and then, I can improve on the colour. And you can always add more, so you end up with the whole thing covered if you wanted. But this is a good one to add more of around the edges. This is micaceous iron oxide. But you can do similar with, you can get your kitty litter and crush it up smaller so that you've got a dust, or not quite a dust, because obviously talc will be a dust. But talc is too fine, I think, for this job. So I would, I can't find my talc. It's around here somewhere. Big thing labelled talc. Anyway, I think the talc is too fine a powder. But you could add a little bit here and there. And of course, Sharon's got an advantage because she's got some graphite powder. That would be nice added. So I want a little bit of this, just to add some. Because don't forget the metal shows through as well, so which is what the black is standing for. So that's going to show through with glitteriness, a little bit of glitteriness, and I'm trying to give it surface texture by giving it, you know, this. As usual, I have been somewhat heavy-handed, but we'll spread things out as they dry, put them into different areas. Bit more. Sorry, I'm sitting down. I'm not looking at chat. I'll get up in a minute and have a look. See what you're all saying. This is where I miss Violet. Cheers and heckles from the cheap seats. I'm going to add it all over there. Decided I don't like the black paper, but it's a good undercoat. Surface, subsurface, that's the word I wanted. Good substrate. A bit of brown in it because it's got a little bit of rustiness. If you had a tiny bit of that brown rust to the micaceous iron oxide, it looked like there's another little patch of rust just about to develop over on the other side somewhere. A little bit more. Yeah. And then I just want to finish off on this side, just along the edge. On this side here. There we are. That looks much more metally. This doesn't look so metally yet, but it will, I hope. Well, we'll see. Anyway, a little bit of the brown. You can see that it's starting to affect. Something nasty has hit the metal and is starting to affect it. So I can't show you now because I've got to wait for it to dry a bit, but I'll show you what it looks like when I finish trying it. And probably what I'll do is I'll also cover that with mication iron oxide and then put some of that on, because I've got rather a lot on there. So perhaps a brush is a better idea. Hello there. I'm making paint rust indeed. Hello, Rhonda. Yes, definitely. Oh, and Trish. Hiya, Trish. Hiya, Heather. Didn't see you there. I'm so sorry. Johnny, hello. And Trish Coogan. Yeah, I said hi to Trish, didn't I? Yes. So, hello, everybody. And I'm about finished now, so I'm going to stop now. And that'll be that. It's only meant to be a little quickie. Gosh, it's been more than an hour already. Well, nearly an hour. Decrease the drying time. With it, as the litter would absorb the moisture of the paint. Well, I haven't crushed the kitty litter. It's just there. It just seems to absorb a little way into the kitty litter, but not a long way. But that just gives it a sort of mountainous appearance. I wonder if it will dry matte or if it will dry a bit more glossy. It's looking glossy at the moment, but of course it's not dry yet. So we'll see what happens. I'll show you when it's finished anyway. I might just take a sort of impression of it. See if I can make anything of that. But I wouldn't leave it like that with all those lines. I would put these sort of lines in so that it's got some different kind of texture. See, you can see that there's not much absorption going on in that kitty litter. So I will turn that over to get the colour on the broken area. So there we are too. This one will be without kitty litter because it's all on that one. There we go. I might even go over some areas with some of the micaceous iron oxide afterwards when it's dry, so that I can sort of cover up some of the bits so you can see it almost bubbling up from underneath. Another thing I would like to do is just see if I can hasten the drying a bit, so maybe we will be able to see it before it's finished. That's if I can find a free plug. What have we got down here? We've got this one, which goes to nothing. Good, we can use that one. There we go. Pop it in there. I'll have to turn the sound off for a sec, otherwise you'll all be deafened by the roar. It absorbs a bit of the water, Evie, that's in the paint, yeah. But it's acrylic. It's not really made with water. It's made with acrylic medium. You see those bubbles? That's what I wanted. That's one of the reasons for putting the matte medium and then making it thin enough to raise bubbles. I've not tried rice. I use the kitty litter quite a lot though. Hang on. You have dogs? Yeah, I've got a dog too. I don't have a cat at the moment, but I do use kitty litter. Now let's see what we can do with these risen up bits. Because it's acrylic, it's sort of made of sort of plasticky skin. Does look a bit like rust, doesn't it? Trouble I find with kitty litter is sometimes it does not want to stick. So it pops off. I've got artist keeping cards and the kitty litter keeps popping off. So best thing I think for that is it doesn't pop off when I seal it in with some gloss or glaze or not glaze, matte medium gel, some sort of gel. So I think that's good enough. Looks more like rust than it did, doesn't it? It is more matte. And I can add more to that one to make it look more like it. Little spots of the yellow. Put the yellow. You need to use the yellow more, less than you do the other colours. The yellow is rarer on real rust. But I have pictures of rust that show all sorts of colours. You can even have a purple rust, blue rust, especially in a marine environment. When I went down to Mersey Island, I could see rust down there that had purples and greens and it was glorious. Blues and reds, lovely, lovely colours. It all depends on whether you come across a tractor that's been going in and out of the edge of the sea to lobster pots or mussel buds or whatever it is they go out there for. And it gets attacked by the air, which is very salty down by the sea. So salt is great. You can always add salt to a metal that you might have hanging about. Like, for instance, I've got this one, which is a Modern Masters that Violet just reminded me of. It's a Metal Effects, it says. What it is, it says it's an oxidizing copper paint. The point is, this, like Swelligant, has real metal suspended in it, and the metal is what reacts to patina. So you get some patina liquid and put it on a damp layer of that, and you've got rust, or in the case of copper, verdigris. Well, I'm coughing well. I will have to stop now, and we'll just upload. Well, this will automatically upload, so this will be a little extra for us for today. I'm sorry that Violet couldn't be with us. Miss her. Anyway, that's us for today. I will shoot this down so we can see a better image of what I did. There you go. And you can see how the rust came out. Not too bad for an impromptu effort. Okay, guys, or rather girls, everybody, that's it for today. This here mad scientist will trickle off and get a nice fresh cuppa. Yes. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody, and thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye. Here we go.